Hi, I'm Veronica Wasek, and I help Shopify sellers to set up, organize, and streamline their financial systems, whether you're looking for DIY, done with you, or done for you financials. In this video, I'll talk about how you as a Shopify seller should be paying yourself in an S corporation. What is an S corporation? According to the IRS, S corporations elect to pass through to their shareholders for federal tax purposes the following: corporate income, losses, deductions, and credits. In other words, your business income and expenses pass through to your personal tax return and are reported on your personal tax return. How do you pay yourself as an S Corp owner? Well, you do that in one of two ways. One, as an employee through payroll, and two, as an owner of your business through distributions. Let's talk about paying yourself as an employee. So you need to do that through payroll. I recommend using a payroll service. Your business pays the employer taxes, and you must pay yourself what's called a reasonable compensation. What is reasonable compensation? The IRS looks at the source of the S corporation's gross receipts or its income, and it also looks at what the shareholder employee did for the corporation to generate those receipts. And the IRS expects you to pay yourself a compensation or a reasonable compensation for performing those services for your business. For example, as a Shopify seller, you may be sourcing products, negotiating with suppliers, dealing with your 3PLs, managing your operations, performing marketing tasks, hiring and training employees and contractors, and more. When it comes to reasonable compensation, consider what other businesses are paying for similar services. That is one of the guidelines that the IRS uses. But really, there's no magic formula. And the most important thing you need to be doing is to talk to your tax preparer. Schedule an annual planning call with them and be proactive about ensuring that call takes place on a regular basis. In addition to paying yourself as an employee of your business, you also pay yourself as an owner of your business. And in that case, you can take distributions out of your company and keep in mind that you don't pay payroll taxes on distributions. And that's why the IRS wants to make sure that you pay yourself a reasonable compensation, because otherwise, if you take most of your compensation out as distributions, you're not paying any payroll taxes on those distributions. What are the biggest mistakes made by Shopify sellers when it comes to their compensation and distributions? After working with many Shopify sellers, here are the main problems that I see when it comes to their payroll and distributions. Number one, taking too many distributions and not paying themselves enough as an employee of the business. So in other words, they're not paying themselves a reasonable salary. Number two, their books are not up to date. That leads to a lack of clarity into what they're taking out of their business in payroll and distributions. And number three, not having regular tax planning conversations with their tax preparers. And as a result, they end up waiting until it's too late to do anything about it. By having financials that tell the true story of your business, you'll be able to have important conversations with your tax preparer about your compensation and distributions so that you can make informed decisions and stay out of trouble with the IRS. As a Shopify seller, it's important that you work with a professional bookkeeper who understands Shopify and is well versed on the tax aspects of an S corporation and who's looking out for you. In my company, Wasek, we specialize in setting up the books for our Shopify clients and in providing monthly bookkeeping services so that they can have a clear picture of what's going on the financial side of their business, including full clarity into our S Corp clients and what they're paying themselves through payroll and distributions. I'm Veronica Wasek. Are you ready to work with an experienced and reliable Shopify accounting pro? Then check the description below to learn more about my services and how we might work together. If this content is helping you, then subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and give me a thumbs up. And check the description below for all of my free resources, including my free Shopify bookkeeping blueprint and the link to join my Facebook community. I'll see you next time.